Good morning, I'm Lynn, and welcome to another day at Ewetopia Farms. Today it's going to be all about getting that hay in before the rain comes in. So we're going to be getting hay in. Well, ours is all here now. Arnie's got some bales to pick up, but we got to get it to the yard, get it all wrapped so that it's safe from the rain. And then we're going to try peek over at Corey and see how he made out with the dry hay of ours that he was working on. And we're going to talk about some questions that have come up about showing sheep and about Knockout being on his own and stuff like that. So stay with us and let's get started. And these are the boys. I'm thinking after a talk with Arnie yesterday that we probably will not be showing this year. We wanted to, we really wanted to. But I'm thinking it's not good advertising for us. It used to be, but it's the same people with the same sheep, and they're the tall sheep. In our area, it's all the tall sheep. And our sheep will always look bad if people are watching that don't understand sheep conformation and the different types of sheep, because ours will be placed at the bottom because they're shorter in stature and the tall ones will win. So it's not about sour grapes and thinking that we should win. It's the fact that people wanting to buy sheep might be misled by the fact that those tall ones are winning and these short ones are not, and may think that the thing to do is stay away from these type. So that's not what we want to promote. We want to promote why you should have these sheep. So we're going to rely on YouTube and teaching people as much as we can. It's kind of sad. I wish we could have gone. We still might change our mind, but where it stands now, we had a long talk about it last night, and we're thinking it's maybe not such a good idea. And it's not only that, but as you know, it's just the two of us here, and we have so many sheep and so many crops and stuff to do that in order to show these sheep, I have to have them tattooed and registered and trained in like a month's time. And to be honest, I don't think we are going to have the time. And then it's taking a day off every week to go to the fairs. Now, ideally, we would like to take a day off every week. But usually, we don't have time to take a day off every week. And not only that, because it's the two of us and there's 3 sheep in each class and 4 in the get of sire class, no, breeder's flock class, we have to ask people to help us show them at the fairs. And that is beginning to be a hassle now too. We're bothering other people, and you can kind of see on their faces that they are bothered. So, yeah, the whole thing's just no good. Look at what I see on this one. She's sporting a spot. It's not mud. A few people have been talking about poor Knockout being on his own and why I don't get him in a breeding group quicker so he's not on his own. There are lots of reasons for that. I don't like to see sheep alone either, but he is only 10 feet away from other sheep that he can see every day. And we do interact with him every day as well. But he is technically in quarantine. He traveled across the country. He was in amongst several other breeders' sheep. He was under the stress of travel in the heat and showing and all things like that, which can cause a sheep to get a kind of pneumonia that's caused by stress. It's called shipping fever. So he's alone so that we can watch and monitor his health. He's there so that if something pops up, he's not in nose-to-nose contact with our sheep, where he can spread it on to our entire flock, which is a really bad thing. And we have gotten the breeding groups set up as quickly as possible so that we can be ready to go. We're still aiming for August 1st, which is basically out of season for Suffolks. And Dorset's a little bit. Dorset's will be going into it a little more, but it is the ewes that are out of season, but the rams also are out of season too, in that yes, they can still produce sperm, but the levels are much lower. As the season progresses, their sperm count gets higher, so there's more chance of them having babies with the ewes that are now cycling as well. So if you put them in too early, the sperm count is down. The ewes are probably not ovulating. However, when you put a ram into a group of ewes for the first 17 days, that's kind of stimulating them. It excites them to start ovulating, and usually you'll see lambs start happening about 17 days after you put in a ram. It's kind of like the teaser ram thing, except you're using a real ram. But if it's too early, the stimulation of the ewes probably won't happen anyway. And what happens after that point is they become immune to it because they're used to him being there, and that stimulation is not there anymore. So it might actually slow them catching, if you know what I mean. So there's a lot of reasons why he's not in a breeding group now, and it's not us trying to be mean to him or not caring about his needs, because we do, but we also have to care about our entire flock's needs, and we've got hundreds of sheep here. So not to mention, some people said put him in with our rams. That's definitely not going to happen, because again, he's in quarantine. And the other thing is, rams bite. It takes just one bad knock and a sheep is dead. And we just bought him in. We would like to get some lambs off him. So we definitely do not want to put that kind of risk on him. And look who's here. I can tell who you are. That's Kinky. I see her leg is still a little twisted. I haven't noticed her for a while because she moves and blends in quite well. But when we look at her front leg just then, you could see that she's still got that little kink on it. So our zucchinis have been growing at an enormous rate. This is the one I picked this morning. I'll show you what I've got in the house.
So we're going to take a picture of Lynn because she's going to be in the better gardening. Whoa, honey, how'd you get that to grow like that, hon?
I've got a green thumb.
Honestly, is that impressive? And you know what's nice about that vine? We didn't have to do nothing to it. It came natural.
All the natural stuff are the best. So this is the field that we're renting. And we have the corn at the back of the property. And at the front here we have some hay fields that we've been renting. But we just ran out of time for getting this first cut off. So this is the field we gave to Corey Doyle. And Corey is the one, you've seen him. He was wrapping some of our straw for us last year. And he's also done some farm sitting. He's a really nice young guy. And he's gonna take all this stuff off our hands for us, and he's gonna use it to feed his cows. And now that it's off, we'll just wait for some second cut to come up, if any second cut comes up. But I'm thinking that in about a month or two, we should get a second cut off this, and we'll take that off. But we were totally full up on first cut hay, and plus we had first cut hay from last year as well still left in the barns that we've been using as bedding. So it was just really greed for us to keep it for ourselves when I know that Corey's always been looking for hay. So he's taken that off. I was hoping we'd catch him here, but it looks like he's finished, and it looks like he may have even taken a few bales away. So maybe I'll look at the barley field while I'm here, see how that alfalfa's doing to show you, and maybe he'll be back by the time I'm done. So this is our spring barley field. Oh my God, is this a most beautiful field? And actually right now, if you look at the angle of the heads, they're starting to bend over into that little flag shape. Remember I mentioned that it should kind of bend over like a flag? See that? That means it's pretty well ripe. But this is also as beautiful as this barley field is. If it was a true barley field, it would have had twice the numbers of barley stalks in here, but we were using this field as the overseeding field, so it's a shade crop. It wasn't meant to be a full crop, although my goodness, it is a beautiful crop. But here it's only been, I think, 2 days since we looked in here at the alfalfa, and remember it was all green at the bottom where the baby alfalfa was growing up. And I don't know if it's capturing this, but if you can see, all the green's gone. It's killed all that alfalfa. You're starting to see the ground now. You see a few yellowed off pieces of alfalfa left. Such a terrible, terrible thing. Still upsets me to see it. But we have to overlook it and look at this gorgeous crop instead. Because this is a stellar crop. And there goes the wind. And it's like waves. It's so beautiful. Everything looks beautiful when it's in harvest season. I just missed it. Corey's dad just came to pick up the hay, and I don't know if he'll come back out, but there was a coyote in the field here. And what the coyotes do when you have a newly cut field like this, inevitably there'll be some casualties in the field, like mice and stuff that got chopped up by the baler. And the coyotes, when a field is cut down, they'll come and scavenge looking for the dead bodies. And that's what he was doing in here. But he ran into our barley field, and now he's totally camouflaged. I can't see him. I don't think that's Corey. I think that's his dad, Peter. They're working together today to get this hay off the field and home, because it is supposed to be raining tonight. I'm hoping that while we're here watching this, that our coyote friend will come back out. So they have a different tractor than ours. Theirs is blue. Blue is Ford. Aha. And he's got a different loader than ours. So I'll walk over and you can see the difference. So Arnie uses the clamps, which are like hands. These guys have... Oh, that was really cool. He's got spikes on the front to carry 2 bales at a time. And he obviously has a spike on the back, which I didn't know about before. And he backed up. I thought he was just a poor driver and backed up into the bale and hit it. But obviously he has a spike, and you can see the spike there. It fell off, but he got it closer anyway. Or I don't know if he tipped it off there. I'm not sure if that was purposeful or not. So he's dealing with spikes. And you can see on the front there, the spikes on it. So you can get all kinds of attachments that do all kinds of things on your tractors. But kind of a bonus that this is a different style. I don't know. Arnie probably shouldn't be seeing this video because now he's going to say that he needs some of these too. Probably making him really nervous. Because you know you're going to make a mistake if someone's watching. I'm curious if this would be quicker or not, or if it's just the same old. Hopefully he backs up and gets that other one, because I thought that was pretty cool, but I don't think so. So it looks like his wagon's 8, 9. Looks like he's gonna do 8, 9, 10, 11 per wagon, I think. So he'd be bringing home 22 bales at a time. That's the top of our silo, as you can see in the distance. And so their baler is different than ours as well. These guys are using a mesh instead of the single twines. If you saw Corey baling our straw last year, you would have seen the mesh. Or when we were unrolling the mesh straw in the barns, it all sticks together and holds it together really tightly. Of course, you're going to get more plastic again and more garbage, and it is harder to pull the wrap off. But if you're storing it in conditions where it could get wet a little bit, maybe it does help to protect it a little bit more with just that added little bit of plastic on top. The water will run off it more. And these bales look like 4-foot bales. I thought they did 5-foot, but this looks like a 4-foot bale too. So So right now he's doing what Arnie does. He's gonna move the tractor to a more central location so there's less driving between the bales as he picks them up. So he's gonna find like a little central spot where he's got a cluster of bales, and he'll park, unhook the tractor, and load the final wagon. Okay, just backed into a bale up there by my car. Didn't back into me with that spike, luckily. And he's gonna bring 3 up here. I thought he was gonna back into one. I like the back in one. So our coyote didn't come out while the tractor was here. A lot of times they will. They're not really afraid of tractors. But I imagine as soon as we leave this field, he'll come back out again, searching for the dead mice. That's a turkey vulture out there. So I just copied that so we could see him in slow motion. The turkey vultures are also scavengers, so they're looking for the dead mice in the fields as well. And it looks like his wagons are actually different sizes. So the back one is a little smaller. It's holding 11 bales. And the front one is bigger. It's gonna hold 10, 12, 14 bales. So that'll be the last 2, and he's gonna hook up the tractor. So Peter told me that Corey was in this back field that we rent as well. These are our beans growing over here. So I thought I'd take Ben down this alley here and go see how Corey is making out in here. Come on, Ben. Ben. My biggest fear down here is getting eaten alive by deer flies. So Arnie clears this laneway out so that the trees don't grow in over the lane, so we can get back to the field way back here. It's a nice little secluded paddock. Oh no, it looks like I missed them. Ben, come here. He's on his way back. So I'm gonna let him pass me here. Maybe stop and say hello. And we'll walk back and see what he did anyway. Ben, come here. So he's just finished baling in here. They also are trying to make it before the rain because he said he heard 8 o'clock tonight. So he's going home to get some more wagons and come pick up this batch of hay as well. So while I'm halfway down the laneway, I may as well continue on here. It's good for my knee. And we'll see how this field looks. This is another field we rent. Little stream here. Oh, some big bird just flew by there. But I think this is where all the animals come when it's a really droughty year to get their water. It's kind of like a little mini jungle back here. There's the opening up ahead. Oh, we're walking out here. And this is like a little secluded piece of land that nobody really even knows about. It's not a big piece, but it's big enough. And we did seed all this down too. You sure wouldn't know there was going to be rain tonight. We do have a breeze today, which is nice and different. But it's clear blue. So I don't know where the rain is coming from. But the time you want rain the most is when the hay gets cut off, and immediately give it a nice soaking. We might get some wind feedback here right now. That's the 360 of this field, and that's the path home. So I guess we're gonna head back. And those are the same silos we looked at from the other property. Just another angle on them. That's down the laneway. Stream coming back on the other side. Okay, we're starting to get close to the road now. And you can see our farm coming into view. Stay here, Ben. You can see we've got solar panels on our barn. We have a microfit system which provides solar energy to the grid. and we get paid so much per kilowatt hour for it. Okay, we're gonna quickly cross the road here before any cars come. Come on, Benny. That's the flag that Michael got us. Still hasn't ripped. It's doing well. Oh, it actually might have a little rip on it. Pick up the mail. That was a good job, Benny. You were a good boy. And we're home. It's hot again today. Here's our zucchini collection. And I've been eating zucchini every day, all week, making new dishes. Yesterday we had scalloped zucchini, which was supposed to taste like scalloped potatoes. And how did that turn out, Arnie?
I wouldn't put it on your menu.
It was repulsive.
Wasn't
We
great.
gave the leftovers to the dogs. So that was definitely a failure. Didn't like it at all. It tasted nothing like scalloped potatoes. So today we're going to be on to another thing that's supposed to be carb free, and I'm going to make mashed cauliflower, which is supposed to be like mashed potatoes. We'll see. So as you can see behind me, our stack of wrap bales has grown quite a bit today. I'm not sure if Arnie's finished, but right now he's doing night chores and feeding the animals up, and it looks like he's finished, but I'm not sure. There's rain forecast coming in tonight, so if he's not finished, he will be finishing off tonight. And again, our video went overtime, so we're gonna follow up on what happened with the bales again tomorrow. So you're gonna have to stick with us. You're forced into watching. Bye for now.